Jones to the left side, going to be stopped at the 45-yard line, 3 yards shy of the first down, and Mike Tolbert, the junior from Valdosta, will come up from his linebacking position to make the hit. And now for the Mountaineers, it is a 3rd down, and they need just over 3 here.
Little counter action. Backside tackle, John Ray, the big guy, all 320 pounds, is going to come out, get his hat on somebody, but Tolbert comes up. He's an outside linebacker, but he's going to play a little bit of pass coverage and a little bit of linebacker. He's an in-betweener a little bit.
This is a situation that has been a bit of a problem for the Mountaineers. That is 3rd down conversions. Jones left side, no problem here. He'll have the first down close to the 50-yard line. Corey Miller, he's a senior from Pageland, South Carolina, comes up to make the initial hit on him. He's been battling a knee problem, probably not at 100%. but wanting to start in this ball game tonight, and it's a first down.
Keys to this defense: Patrick Hinton, number 46, and Joe Reeves, number 44, the inside linebackers. They must take on that inside isolation play that West Virginia is going to run if South Carolina can't stop it. You're going to see it between the tackles all night.
Jet in motion to the open side of the field, and again they keep it on the ground as the pitch goes to Jones, turns the corner, has 5, and then is going to be knocked out of bounds by number 44, Joe Reeves, and that will be a gain of close to 10 yards in the play. Rico Tyler with an excellent block.
You're right, Ron. It was Rico Tyler. A little toss pitch action. Everybody puts his play in first. The key to it, the fullback. He must track and he must get his head to the outside leg. That's what knocks him down in the secondary. Watch how Jones sets up the block and takes it to the outside right now. Very positive play.
4 carries for him now for 19 yards. Good start.
Just as Rick White feared the running game. That's what he had to stop.
Fullback Tyler, counteraction, takes it inside the 40, breaks off the tackle, and he has a 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line as Dixon was holding on for dear life. And boy, your point is well made here in the fact that just what the Gamecocks did not want them to do, they're doing it and doing it well.
Well, there's really the mismatch in the football game, at least to start. 280 pounds against 245 pounds up front. Remember, Florida State ran on this Gamecock defense for 344 yards. Since then, everybody's tried to dial the running game.
Georgia Tech ran well against them as well.
Georgia Tech a little more option. This is real smash-mouth football so far.
Work to the left side. Let's take it back there again. And Jones being pushed back, and he will lose one on the play. Joe Reeves, the junior from Whiteville, North Carolina, termed by the coaches as one of the real overachievers on this team, is the man who bumps him out of bounds.
Here it is again, right at it. They're going to take it, just man-on-man block and toss pass to the left side this time. Jones reads it inside, but played very well to the outside by Reeves, and that's what he does. He takes it on with that inside shoulder, keeps the proper leverage, and then pushes him to the sideline. Good job by Reeves that time.
This is the 7th play of the drive coming up. Almost 3 minutes consumed. Jones, first pass of the night, zings it out far side. That's complete to Mike Baker. And he will be hit immediately and knocked out of bounds just inside the 30. Jerry Inman, a redshirt freshman, is the man making the play on him. Very young in the secondary of South Carolina, but these kids have had to learn under some tough conditions.
They've lost a couple of them. Anderson and Walker started out the season. There you see Sparky Woods right there. He was concerned about this game starting just the way it is. Can they rush it inside? That's going to make them vulnerable to the pass later.
Situation, 3rd down. West Virginia needs the 24 of South Carolina. Jones, 5-step drop, quarterback draw. First down, plus about 2 more to the 20-yard line, and Patrick Hinton, the middle linebacker, will finally stop him, but that is enough for the Mountaineer first down.
That's the call, Ron. It was a quarterback draw, and Greg Jones is going to go back. He's going to sell the pass first. Sometimes you see quarterbacks, they do it too quickly. This time he gets back. He reads the line blocking in front of him. Wolfley's in front of it, making the play, and Jones gets just enough yards to get the ball down to the 20-yard line. Impressive drive so far to begin the game.
11 minutes, 30 seconds left in this opening quarter as Don Nehlen has to like what he sees right now with the first down at the 20. Jones this time, and boy, you could see bodies fly as he hammers it up into the middle. Kirk Wilson is down in the bottom of the stack, number 92.
Same play they started the game with, Ron, only to the right this time. This time, number 78, the left tackle, is going to pull around Rich Brohm. He's going to pull around and lead Jones into the hole. Little misdirection play with Brohm, the freshman. 6'4", 260 offensive lineman.
But he brings their average down because Sniffen normally starts there, and he's 6'7", 285. Tyler. And the bruising fullback at left tackle inside the 15. Hinton and Dye combining in the stop. And again, it's going to be a third down situation. And for the Mountaineers this time, about 4.5 yards to pick up the first.
There you see the comparison again for the size. 6'4.5". You know, you really don't care how tall they are. There's not going to be any rebounds out there tonight. But the weight, that's the difference. You know, that creates the push. South Carolina against Clemson last week used what they call the stud package. We'll get to it later.
Two wide receivers come left. Jones has to hurry to get this one away, and he's going to go quarterback draw. He will not have it. He'll need about 2.5 yards, as Mike Tolbert found it out. And now here has been the real nemesis for West Virginia this year. The field goal kicking unit as Brad Carroll comes on. And Brad did a great job last year, but this season only 25%, 3 of 12.
That's not too good. I kind of expected him to go for it, but this is a chip shot. I think he's going to put this one right through. Could have won a couple.
It's going to be Mark Johnson.
Yeah,
I beg your pardon.
The short kicker.
Kick is on the way, and he's got it from 30 yards out. So Mark Johnson, he is 2 of 2 with short field goals this year, and the Mountaineers go on the scoreboard first. Let's take a timeout. 9:32 left in this opening period. West Virginia gets on the board first, 3-0 with just over 9.5 minutes to play in this opening quarter. What a magnificent evening here in South Carolina. I know that lots of parts of the country have been witnessing unseasonably warm temperatures, but Gary, as we came to the stadium tonight, I'm sure it's dropped a little bit, but it was still 66 degrees late this afternoon.
I noticed. It was real nice.
Now Brad Carroll will handle the kickoff, but allowing 25.9 yards per return. Robert Brooks to the far side, Ellie Miller, number 3 to the near side, the junior from Decatur, and it is going to be short, and it's going to bounce coming to Brooks at the 15. And he will take it to the 20-yard line. So let's meet the starters for South Carolina tonight. Bobby Fuller out of Miami, Florida. He's a junior, will open at quarterback. Behind him, he'll have Mike Dingle, and he's a huge one at 245 pounds. And Ken Watson is the fullback. The wide receivers, Robert Brooks and Eddie Miller. The tight end is Mike Whitman, who gets the start tonight, replacing Stewart. Hal Hamrick is the center. The guards, Killen and Rivens. And the offensive tackles, Ike Harris and Calvin Stevens. Dingle tries to turn the corner. He is popped as he gets a couple of yards on the play, and it's E.J. Wheeler from his inside linebacking position as we meet the Mountaineers on the defensive side of the ball. Steve Redd, big hitter. He's the nose guard. The defensive tackles, Scott Gaskins and Gary Tillis. The linebackers on the inside, Steve Grant and Wheeler, who just made the tackle. On the outside, it's Alexander and Theron Ellis. Keep an eye on him tonight. Cecil Doggett and Leroy Axum are the corners, and the safeties, Daryl Whitmore and Mike Collins. Second down as South Carolina tries the corners to sweep again in the second play, and Daryl Whitmore will knock Dingle out of bounds, and I believe he has the South Carolina first down.
The game plan for South Carolina was try to get the perimeter, see where West Virginia is vulnerable, try to get the ball outside early. If they have success running the ball outside, they feel confident that they'll be able to run the ball all night. Both teams, Sparky Woods and Don Nehlen, like to run the football.
Fuller pitches. They'll bring it back the other way. Dingle cuts back inside. He is going to be hit at the line of scrimmage, and the man we said keep an eye on, there he is. You remember him from last year. We had this ball club 3 different times in 1989, and Theron Ellis was a standout on defense every time we saw him.
Pitch to the other side, same play to the wide side. This time it's Ken Watson. He's going to try to get the block to the outside, but Theron Ellis turns the play in. You know, we talked about the matchup problem, losing Charles Stewart, their tight end. That's going to be the focal point. Theron Ellis, can they block him in the running game?
Dingle spins off the tackle, and he'll take it forward for almost 5 more yards. It was Ellis who got a hand on him. Here you have to remember, Dingle at 6'3", 245, has very good use of himself as far as spin and move and get off quickly.
And he came to camp at 250. He's lost. Here, take a look at Theron Ellis again. Inside linebacker in 1989. Plays down the line very well and gets the tackle. Big-time looking football player. He's got the look. He's got that look.
3rd down and just over 2. Fuller on the short drop has Brooks complete for the first down and into West Virginia territory. Axum makes the stop after the gain of 12.
Robert Brooks is the leading receiver for South Carolina for the 3rd consecutive year. He's a big-time football player. He'll be playing on Sundays in a couple years. He's got 28 receptions coming into this game. He blocks and he does it all. The only problem he's had, Ron, when we talked to Sparky Woods, he's had a bad knee and he hasn't been able to practice as much this year.
A lot of people think that he could be a world-class hurdler if he would stay away from football and just concentrate on that. They bring it back to the short side of the field, and Dingle, 6, now 7 to the 43. Steve Grant, the junior from Miami, is holding on, number 4. It's 5 carries now for Dingle for 26 yards. 170 rushes for 688 yards and 7 touchdowns this year for Mike. 6 minutes 50 seconds left in this opening quarter. This is the 8th play of the South Carolina drive. Boy, pitch left, pitch right. Dingle has the first down, still driving. Will pick up a couple of more to the 37. Daryl Whitmore making the stop for the Mountaineers.
This time, pitch left, get Ron, yes, but a little bit a different look. They went an unbalanced line that time to get a little bit more help on Theron Ellis. Mike Whitman is going to need help. He's just a freshman football player, a redshirt freshman football player, but he's going to need help blocking this player. Ellis is a senior and has a lot of experience.
David Pitchko comes in at wide receiver. He's a junior, but they go right up the middle with Dingle. Maybe 1 yard. Steve Redd, the nose guard, number 92, is on the bottom of the stack. Also E.J. Wheeler, number 46, the senior from Mars, Pennsylvania.
Basically, Ron, both of these teams are kind of mirror images of each other. They would like to run the ball, and they just have not been able to get enough big plays offensively to get the easy touchdowns. Everything they've gotten, they've had to earn 4 yards at a time this year.
On 2nd and long, they fake the draw. He is looking long for Miller, and he has him there, caught it out of bounds. Fuller waited about a count too late to throw the football. Pass was complete, but it was a yard outside.
This is a play we saw him run in practice, but number 30, Cecil Doggett here. Watch him drop back in the coverage. This is what made Bobby Fuller hesitate just a little bit and throw the ball a little bit long to the outside. He was perfect with it yesterday. This time he hung on to it, as you said, a little bit too long. No one held Doggett in the coverage, and that really was the problem with the play.
11th play of the drive, and they need the ball just inside the 28 for the first. Blitz coming from West Virginia. Fuller's pass incomplete. He wanted Pitchko, and a flag comes down against Axum.
Defensive pass interference against West Virginia. 15 yards, first down.
This time West Virginia comes out with a 6-man blitz right here. Picked up very well by South Carolina. Watch Bobby deliver it. And Axum kind of misjudges the speed on this throw. Fuller does not throw the fireball like he sees all the time in practice with Jones, and he closed on it a little bit too fast. That's not like a change of pace. And Axum closed, did a good job, but the ball just took a little longer getting there than he's used to.
Carolina, first down.
This is the field position now where West Virginia will start blitzing. We talked to the offensive coordinator, Art Wilkins from South Carolina. He says he expects it down here, and they prepared very hard for it.
So the first down at the 21-yard line of West Virginia. Pitch goes to Dinkins. Dingle will take it down to the 15-yard line as Axum comes up to make the hit. Dingle from Moncks Corner, South Carolina, a senior.
.245, and those single back offenses, you have to have a big back who can carry the load. Dingle is the man who's turning it around for him. He's also doing a good job in receiving. He's second on the team with 23 catches.
Dingle right up the middle, close to the South Carolina first down, and now being pushed back as Grant is the man at the bottom of the pile. Also, Alexander came up to help out, and they're going to give him forward progress in the vicinity of the 11.5-yard line. It's about 18 inches short, and it'll be third down for the Gamecocks. 13 plays, 68 yards, 5 yards consumed. And that is after West Virginia took the opening kickoff and took the ball on a long drive themselves. We only have 4.5 minutes left in the opening quarter. With the first down, and he is at the 5-yard line. Grant makes the stop along with Mike Collins. First and goal, Gamecocks.
Key block here from the third-team fullback, H-back Leroy Jeter, number 42. It's a little isolation play, and he leads Dingle in there for the first down. See if you can check him out. Right in the middle of your screen, he wraps around, puts his helmet on the linebacker, and that's what really makes the play. Number 42, Leroy Jeter, makes the block on that play.
Dingle with the pitch. Watson with a block, goes airborne, hit, and inside the 2-yard line. Axum came up from his cornerback spot to make the stick, but it's going to be about 1.5 yards away.
This is really surprising so far. This is a defense, a West Virginia defense that has done a job all year against the rush. South Carolina is only averaging 150 yards a game, but you can see the intensity tonight. They're going for every yard, and they have not made a mistake yet.
The description of the offensive line, capable but not dominating. They have been dominating to an extent in this drive. Dingle over the top, touchdown, South Carolina. To attempt the extra point. Dingle with 12 carries on the drive for 53 yards. Mackey's kick is perfect. And the Gamecocks up 7-3.
Remember, this is against a good West Virginia defense that is only giving up 119 yards a game rushing all year, and they played some good football teams. And South Carolina's only averaging 150. But the play up front is getting it done. Big salute here to Ken Watson. He might have had 10 blocks on that drive.
So let's take a break. South Carolina by 4. ESPN's college football special, West Virginia at South Carolina, is brought to you by Infiniti, to invite you to test drive their full line of luxury automobiles, and by Michelob Dry Beer. Once you've experienced the bold taste with no aftertaste, there's no going back. We hope it's been a great Thanksgiving Day for you and your family. We know that many of you have loved ones and relatives in Saudi Arabia, and our prayers are with them and also with you. Ron Franklin, Gary Danielson, and Kevin Kiley in Columbia, South Carolina. As this is Hayes, one of the upbacks, who takes it at the 20, and he will bring it only for 7 yards up around the 27-yard line. That's Emmons on special teams.
From the end zone, Mike Collins, number 25, is going to get a hit on Mike Dingle, but he doesn't square him up. And watch Mike roll into the hole. You know, 245 pounds leaping up. You don't need much blocking right there, and that's what got it done.
14 plays, 80 yards, 6 minutes, 12 seconds. Dingle with the 1-yard run. Greg Jones, a senior from Miami. And what a story with this young man. He started out at the University of Miami. Walsh and also Testaverde had to play behind them, then had to play behind Major Harris after he came to the Mountaineers, and he zings it incomplete. James Jett is who he wanted on the far side of the field, and that one is well short.
Ron, at the end of that drive, I mentioned to you that against Clemson last week, Sparky Woods went to what he called the stud package. Cedric Bembry, number 98, came in over the nose, and they played 5 down defensive linemen to stop the run. They were effective with it last week. He said he'd go to it to stop the running game for West Virginia on first down, and they have already. They're back to the 4-3 now.
Option play as they reverse it out. Jones looking for somebody to help him out, and he is covered in garnet and black. Keith McDonald, number 35, along with Miller, number 33, making the stop, and it's a gain of only a half yard.
Offensive coordinator Mike Jacobs for West Virginia told us he'd like to run a little option football. Citadel was very effective running the option against this defense, and he said he'd like to feature it a couple times tonight and see how Greg Jones handles it. West Virginia does about everything on offense you can do, and that's tough on Jones. That's why he's not a 55, 60% passer, because he's asked to do so much.
West Virginia 2 of 3 on third down conversions. They need the 37. Pass complete to Jett at the 50-yard line. I almost said he caught the seam. He caught the cavern. 21 yards on the reception, as nobody from South Carolina was very close at all when the ball was delivered.
Well, the sprinter James Jett is going to come out and he's going to drive down, but Jones puts it on the money. Greg has played behind some guys, and we should get into this, who he's played behind Heisman Trophy candidates. At Miami, he was behind Testaverde and Walsh. Last year, he played behind Major Harris, and now as a fifth-year senior, he has an opportunity to play. Real happy for the guy.
And you said before the ballgame you were extremely impressed with his arm.
He has got a cannon.
Reverses out that throw, and it has it complete over the middle. Ed Hill to the 35-yard line. Ed's a freshman from Cincinnati, and a nice target from that outside position at 6'2", 194.
When you have success running the ball, you can do things off of it. Watch, it's going to be a little naked boot right here. Nobody protected him. Hill delays. Nice job by Jones getting his shoulders turned and delivers the ball early in the year. You know, he has not been throwing 50% on the year, but Don Nehlen told us they've been dropping the ball on him, and he got his confidence down a little bit, and he's come back now, and he feels he's playing some good football for him.
Running play goes inside the 30. That's Rico Tyler, the fullback, as Jones is 3 of 4 for 42, and a nice start for him. The only one that he missed was the one that he hurried a bit on the opening play of this drive and threw into the ground looking for Jett.
But Tyler's a fun guy to watch play football, isn't he? He'll cheer, he'll run, and he'll talk at the same time.
Well, we watched him as a starter last year, as only a junior. He's out of Pittsburgh, but at 5'11", 237, and he is just rock-like and loves to block, loves to put somebody on their back. Baker is in motion out of your screen, but they go with Jones. Big opening. Has 5, 10, 15. Counted off at 20 yards inside the 10. And Surratt finally makes the stop. Officially 22 yards on the carry.
Oh, what a read here by Jones. Play is slated to go to the left, but Jones hops to the right side behind the right guard, Larry Cook, number 74. He's into the secondary. What acceleration. Jones, just a freshman, is taking advantage of Wolfley, the center's block. Watch him jump to the right and watch him accelerate. That's big time back there. Just a freshman football player. He's kind of beaten out Michael Beasley, their leading carrier, through much of the beginning of the year.
First and goal. Loses the snap. It is on the ground at the 9. West Virginia says they have recovered, but the pile continues to move. Like a giant amoeba.
I know if I was home watching this game, I'd say, God, West Virginia, you know, they're running the ball like this all year. It looks like they got it back. This has been the story for them all year. They run it between the 20s, and then they shoot themselves in the foot. They've been fumbling the ball and making mistakes.
This is a great promo for tomorrow evening's NIT final. Arkansas and Arizona. The way these two clubs are moving the ball.
Sometimes on a pitch, you have to stomach that ball. He did not bring it into his stomach, and number 75, Lorenzo Stiles, knocked it out of his hand.
Federico comes in at wide receiver, joining Jett. Second down and goal, about 9.5 yards away. And now that is the end of the first quarter. So a timeout with our scores. South Carolina 7, West Virginia 3. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, from Columbia, South Carolina. Let's take a look at the replay on that fumble just a moment ago.
A couple things here. Greg kind of mishandles the snap, and he can't get it into his stomach. His left guard on the reverse pivot, Lorenzo Styles, knocks it out of his hand. And on those plays, Ron, you're very fortunate to get that ball back because that's a free-for-all, and the defense has the advantage.
Keep an eye on number 44 on defense. Joe Reeves already with 6 tackles in the first quarter, 4 of those solo. To the outside, Jones will score.
Well, John Jones has really emerged for this West Virginia football team. For 4 consecutive games, he's been their leading carrier. He does it again. He starts to his left, breaks it back to his right, puts on the speed, and is into the end zone. If you don't hit this guy straight on, he's going to give you the shoulder and kind of lunge forward and get a couple more yards each time. You know, he's not a small guy either. 213.
Mark Jones, who kicked the field goal on that opening drive, knocks it through, and we have a timeout with West Virginia back on top, 10-7. We'll be right back. Virginia back on top, 10-7. As you look at the tandem running backs, Tyler and John Jones. Yeah, that's his hair.
From up top, watch the left side of your screen. John Ray, the big tackle. He holds on just long enough for John Jones to break it to the outside. From the sideline right here. Check out John Jones. He's going to get the ball deep. That's a good thing that Greg Jones does. Gets it to him deep. He starts off to his left, and he jumps back to his right side. Now watch his body lean. He's leaning forward, and he's going for that goal line. Once he leaves there, if you don't hit him straight on, he's going to fall in. Nice running.
8 carries for him for 51 yards, and now a touchdown. Carroll will kick it off for the Mountaineers. They opened the ball game with a drive that produced the field goal, and now a touchdown. This is Adams. We'll bring it back to the 24. 10-7, West Virginia on top. The storyline after the first 15 minutes, Dingle 12 rushes, 54 yards and a touch. John Jones 8 rushes, 51 yards and a touchdown. And West Virginia 2 70-plus yard scoring drives. Reeves 6 tackles for South Carolina in the first quarter. And as we mentioned, 4 of those are solo. They go shotgun formation. Dingle is the only running back, and now he sends him out toward the sideline. So nobody in the backfield with Fuller. Throws it complete to Miller. Beats his man. And will be knocked down across midfield by Mike Collins. That's good for 28 yards.
Little curl pass. Bobby Fuller drops back. This offense has had 37 sacks this year, but this time they flood the zone with no backs. Look at the safety at the middle of your screen. Drop up for the outside man, and there he is, wide open. Curls to the outside, and he's down the sideline.
South Carolina came out running in the opening series, but their offensive coordinator, Art Wilkins, said this is what they were going to do in the second series. Regardless of how successful, spread them out and see what happens.
The reason they want to give them 2 thoughts at halftime, they want them to work on 2 different game plans. The 3 wide receivers plus the power game. The real hidden reason, though, they've lost Charles Stewart, their big blocking tight end. They don't think they can handle Theron Ellis all game.
The ball carrier was DeBoer. He's a freshman from Omaha. And another interesting story on this South Carolina ball club. Several schools were interested in him, including Nebraska, but nobody wanted him to play baseball, which he wants to do. And his dad had gone to school with the baseball coach, June Raines, here at South Carolina. So they're going to let him do both. That's the reason he's here. Fake the draw to him, pass out into the flat. Nice catch by Whitman. And let's go down to the sideline. Kevin Kiley, what you got going?
Thank you, Ron. If it seems like there's a lot of intensity in this game for 2 teams that are hovering around 500, you're right. There's a lot riding on this game. For the Mountaineers, I spoke to some of the guys. To a man, they said it's real important for their young team to come away with a win in the final game of the year. For South Carolina now, they've turned down the Independence Bowl, apparently, but now there's talk of a Peach Bowl bid, and we'll talk to King Dixon, the athletic director of South Carolina, at halftime. Ron?
Thanks, Kevin. We'll look forward to that. King Dixon, athletic director for the Gamecocks. Dingle. Good defensive expensive pursuit for the Mountaineers, but not enough to stop the first down. Grant got there first. 6'1", 232, a junior from Miami, Florida. Grant has had a very good ball game in the early portions of this first half.
Seems like South Carolina is also running to their right. Let's give a little plug here. Jim Gray is not playing this football game. Their most dominating football player, their captain on defense, and he's being replaced by Scott Gaskins, a freshman. So they're taking advantage of that mismatch.
South Carolina, an average of almost 7 yards per first down try. DeBoer back in the game, breaks off a tackle. Being slung down in the open field by Whitmore, but he's close to the first down. They're going to spot it at around the 32. Boy.
Well, the freshman, Rob DeBoer right here, he kind of looks like a Nebraska back, doesn't he? Look at it, stocky, strong, doesn't get tackled by one guy, bounces off, switches the ball. They must teach him right out there in Nebraska, and he comes up here, looks right at home.
Home is Omaha, 5'10", 195. Although, frankly, he looks a little larger than that, maybe over 200. Gets the call again, and he's going to have the first down as he bolts his way inside the 25. By the way, a salute from Airship Shamu, a 194-foot blimp traveling on behalf of SeaWorld. And more than 8,000 lights illuminate on the side of the Flying Whale. It's a great scene on what is a marvelous Thanksgiving night here in Columbia, South Carolina. A lot of folks.
You know, Ron,
came away from the turkey tonight, didn't they?
Ron, when you're playing, the first time you do a game that's televised with the blimp, it's such a thrill as a player, too.
Pitch goes to DeBoer. Reads the block well, and then who else? Theron Ellis. Boy, did he do a great job in what looked like was a very fine block, and he just played through it, made the tackle, and he is shaken up on the play.
Well, this is the guy they can't afford to lose. This is what everybody was nervous about. Mike Whitman, number 82 on the right side of your screen, is going to try to block Ellis. He stands him up, but Ellis does a good job pushing with his hands. Push, 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 throw him away and make the tackle. Great job. Let's see if he falls on his arm right here. Looks like the tackler from the backside came and hit his hand with his helmet as he was trying to throw him down.
Also, you can see Mike Collins was injured on the play, but still down is Theron Ellis. So Collins is going to be fine.
Right, I think Collins came in and actually was the one who put the hit on. You can see it. It hit his hand. He might have like cracked a finger or broke a finger with the helmet from Collins coming up. Let's see if we can look at it one more time. To the outside, he's got his hand raised, right hand, and as he turns, it's the helmet from Collins coming up. There you go. You're ready to throw the guy down, and all of a sudden you get a sharp pain in your right hand. Here it is. He plays off the blocker so well, turns him around, and from the backside, it's Daryl Whitmore that comes up and actually knocks him in.
Ted Kester will come in replacing Theron Ellis. DeBoer takes it for a couple. It's going to be third down, and now the Gamecocks need the 14-yard line. And it's about a 5 yards or 5.5 that they need to pick up.
Well, I think Sparky Woods right now is really feeling good about the way his team is moving the football. There you see the number of C's. Their sack leader. They need him in this football game to play. He's had 6 sacks on the year and 15 tackles for loss this season. He's a big-time impact football player at the outside.
2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers. Fuller for the end zone. Oh my goodness, Brooks was open, and he overthrew him by 5 yards. Brooks was inside the coverage about 2 yards deep.
Let's give the credit here to Leroy Axum, number 1. Often when you run these shakes or post-corner routes, the quarterback expects you to go for the corner of the end zone. But Leroy Axum is in the corner, so Brooks breaks it off. Fuller throws the ball before the break. A little bit of a misread. Give the credit to the defense on the play.
Colin Mackey with an attempt of 35 yards. And we're tied. 10:20 left until halftime. 10-10. College football special, West Virginia at South Carolina, is brought to you by General Motors. GM is putting quality on the road. And by Minolta Freedom Cameras. When you can't get to the picture, Minolta Freedom Zoom brings the picture to you. Just as we promised, we have an outstanding game going for you. 10 apiece. Taken by West Virginia at the 17-yard line. It's Hayes. Breaks it open on the left side, and he's all the way out to the 36-yard line. Kevin Kiley has a report on Theron Ellis and that injury just a moment ago. Kevin.
All right, thank you very much, Ron. The thing that West Virginia didn't want to happen happened. Theron Ellis has a couple of problems. One, a strained shoulder. The other, he crushed the finger on his right hand. There was a lot of blood. It looked like a pretty serious injury. And as Gary will tell you, for a defensive player to hurt that hand, he can't keep the people off him. Back up to you.
You could see standing in the background over your shoulder, Kevin, was Bob Shaw, the defensive coordinator, and you could see the worried look on his face. They got to have Ellis back in this ballgame. Jones in play action, and he goes long for Jet, and they had miscommunicated on this one.
They're not even in the same time zone on that one.
You know, Jet can get there real quick, though. Twice he run the 100 and the 200 meters in high school on back-to-back years, and all were record times.
To get that one, though, he had the last play, though. There was just overthrown by 15 yards. That's one about Greg Jones. It's his inexperience that is causing him that low percentage in passing this year. He's got the arm, he has the tools, but this is the first year playing. Whether you're a senior or a freshman, you have to get the game experience to play.
3 of 5 for 42 yards for Jones. Option to the left, going to keep it, and has the first down as he really takes a shot, knocked out at the 48. That's Surratt, who came up from that right cornerback spot. Ten minutes exactly showing in the clock until halftime, but that's our score. West Virginia 10 and South Carolina 10. Rico Tyler breaks it off, has the first down +5, and now 10 yards more. Leon Harris from his free safety position stops him, but that is a gain of over 20 yards. And all of a sudden, the Mountaineers again inside the 25-yard line.
Remember, they've been running the pitch all game. This time they fake the pitch action. Tyler gets the ball. Watch Greg turn around, fake the pitch, slide it into his fullback. Key to this play, corner blitz on the play. That's why there's no secondary people out there. Tyler gets into the wide open field. You can tell, I mean, this is not a 4-5 football player. He's not going to outrun you, but he's going to hit you.
He now has 4 carries for 40 yards on the night. Brom jumped offside. 5 yards will be assessed against the Mountaineers.
False start. It's West Virginia. 5 yards. Still first down.
I have a feeling that Don Nehlen is standing over across the way saying, I hope that's not going to creep into our repertoire, because they have found every way imaginable to self-destruct this year.
And it's so unlike his football teams. His teams are so well schooled and so well disciplined. He was at Michigan with Bo Schembechler. He knows what it takes to win, and his teams have not played that way in the past. This year, all of a sudden, it's popped up.
They've already rushed for 115 yards in this one. Beasley. He'll have a couple. Gerald Dixon, junior from Rock Hill, South Carolina. The junior college transfer is there to make the play.
And when you play that bend but don't break defense that South Carolina is being kind of forced to play because they just don't have the size to match up, you depend on a couple of mistakes. You know, a missed assignment, a missed block, a fumble, an offsides penalty to set up your defense so you can get them in these long yardage situations.
Second down. The yard line to make is the 18 for the first down. Option, and Jones will keep it. Makes a good cut inside the 25. Joe Reeves again on the stop for the Gamecocks. But they're still going to be just about 5 yards short.
West Virginia runs about every type of I option you can, but the key on the I option, the delay option, is the fullback, Rico Tyler. The fullback and the quarterback are the guys that get the ball, but Rico Tyler is the one that has to block during the play. And that's why he's so effective. He fills through, and then after he fakes, he tries to get his head on somebody. He's not quite that fast, but he's in there sometimes.
Third down, and the Mountaineers run into the boundary. Beasley will just get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It was Patrick Hinton who will knock him out of bounds.
It was Patrick Hinton that got the tackle, but it was Corey Miller that disrupted the play. Corey crashed from that end spot, forced him to run out a little bit wide, and then the outside, the pursuit came in and made the stop.
Now, the situation for West Virginia, and the thing that Mike Jacobs told us is with the problems they've had with the field goal, he said, do not be surprised tomorrow night if you see us going on 4th down situations when we have a 30-plus yard field goal.
Well, and it puts some pressure on the defense on the flip side, because now you know as a defense that once they cross about the 40-yard line, they're in 4-down territory. So you know as a defense that you better buckle it up. They may go all 4 downs.
Well, let's talk about what we're going to do on Saturday. It is game day beginning at 11:30 a.m. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, and Charlene Hawks. They'll set you up on the day's action. Virginia at Virginia Tech is the first game of the doubleheader, 4 o'clock Eastern time, and Gary and I will be in Miami as we watch the Canes take on Coach Mack and Syracuse. That is at 7:30. Look at that view, looking down at the Williams-Brice Stadium. Over 70,000 people here tonight. And Gary, I had wondered as I flew in day before yesterday with the 2 ball clubs at 4 and 6 and 5 and 5 and being a Turkey Day, how many people would show up? Boy, they love their football.
Well, I think this just sets the stage why Sparky Woods thinks this is just a sleeping giant of a football program right here. There you see Sparky. He's got an opportunity to put this program on the map, and he can really, really do some good things here if he just stays patient. Looks like they're going to go for this baby.
And another reason that the Southeastern Conference looked at this program and looked at it in a very positive light and said, yeah, we would like for them to be a part of our conference. On court, play action. Oh, Jett is all alone, and he has him inside the 5, and he is out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Little play action pass on 4th down, and Greg Jones puts it right there to Jett. Jett is so fast, even down at this end of the field, he makes that defensive back off and gives you the easy throw. The ball was not thrown perfectly, but Jett protects it, and he gets it. And does he step out here? He didn't even step out, Ron.
No, you're right.
That should have been a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
Right here. NFL, that's a touchdown. I hope they get it in the end zone right now, because I'd hate to see them, have a fumble right there because of a missed call.
In college, that's a touchdown.
Well, I was talking the replay, and people don't like the replay, but it corrects mistakes just like that.
Pitch goes to Beasley. They try the sweep as a flag comes down, and he'll score. The flag came down as the sweep was developing, and South Carolina is applauding.
Well, Don Nehlen was very upset for another reason. The 25-second clock also ran out, and he was upset with Greg for not finding that 25-second clock. So they had 2 penalties really on the play.
Get in there, Beans!
He should be upset because they should already be in the end zone.
I was going to say, if you think he's upset now, wait till he takes a look at the video.
One more look. Here's the pass. Jett gets it. He gets shoved, but he gathers his momentum here and does not step out. You have to wonder what the official's watching right there when he goes to play like that.
Maybe it was his shadow, because you can see him stepping in. He was right on the play. John Jones wants to throw the ball, does, and it's intercepted. You could see it coming as Cedric Bembury makes the interception. South Carolina, I have to use the term, dodged 2 bullets in the last 3 plays.
I'm really not rooting for either team, but you hate to see something like that happen when you call a good play and you get into the end zone, and then just a matter of circumstances, you end up getting nothing out of it. Stan Jones is just a freshman, remember that. Number 33. There was no one open on this play. He runs, and John Jones looks, and there's nobody there, and when he throws across his body like that, bad things happen. And the nose tackle. The nose tackle gets the pick off in the play by just pursuing down the line of scrimmage. Boy, he's going to take that one home. That's better than any Thanksgiving dinner he could ever have.
They'll go with the big back, and Dingle maybe a yard. Theron Ellis has the finger patched up and is back out on the field. It's a gain of a half yard. Well, West Virginia turnovers. Consider one thing. Through the Boston College game, they were #1 in the nation as far as turnover ratio. That afternoon, they turned it over 6 times. In a couple of moments here, we're going to show you what it looks like now. The bottom has simply dropped out on them. Fuller from his own end zone. Over the middle has Whitman to the 15-yard line. They will miss the first down by 1.
Turnovers will cut the heart out of any offense, and that's what's happened to West Virginia this year. Look at that. First 6 games, plus 14. Last 4 games, minus 10. They go from leading the nation to having it being the reason why they're having such a poor football season this year.
And Don said last night as he drove to the practice with us, he said, I'm still having fun. This has been a fun football team. We have beaten ourselves rather than being beaten more times than not. Dingle, and he's not going to have the first down. West Virginia steps up and knocks him down short of the line of scrimmage. Grant on the bottom of the stack.
Steve Grant just closed so fast. He read it so quickly and took on the fullback in the backfield that time and destroyed the play.
Rick Dolly also was there defensively. He's playing with a broken hand. And for the first time tonight, we'll see Darren Parker. 5th in the nation. And they need one of his real good ones right now. This is Darrell Whitmore and a single safety for the Mountaineers. They got it. Look at Whitmore retreat from the 34-yard line. And he kicked the ball from the end zone and tackled after a gain of only 3. 51 yards on the kick. What an effort by the special teams. We're still tied at 10.
Who thirst for something different, something beyond the ordinary. For them, there is a beer that refreshes like no other. Michelob Dry. Once you've experienced its bold taste, with no aftertaste, there's no going back.
Enemy on the open. Moving up on your right, Bravo 2.
I'm 30 miles from the action, but I'm responsible for a digital communication link between headquarters and brigade.
Enemy tank, checkpoint 1.
If the data isn't programmed right, 5,000 troops could be cut off.
Enemy forces gunner.
But I'd never let that happen to my brigade.
Op 4 is eliminated.
Be all that you can be.
You did it, sir.
Outstanding.
Get an edge on life in the Army.
5:54 left until halftime. And the U.S. Army Student Athlete of the Game is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And tonight's honoree, Joe Reeves. Grade point average of .365 in sports administration. And we reported that he had 6 first-quarter tackles, 4 of them solo. And we have called his name at least twice, if not 3 times more, in the second quarter. Excellent ball game for him tonight. Zips it outside. That's complete to Staten at the 45-yard line.
Here you see the punt return, the end of the punt return. Darrell Whitmore right here is going to take it. Had he just gone straight up the field, he would have had some good field position for his team. But the great athletes, they like to try to get to the end zone. You know, you have to live with this if you're a coach. He's going to make some big ones, so you have to live with some of the mistakes on the play. Darrell going for the big play.
Baker celebrating after the tackle on the special teams. Jones goes left side. Bobby Brown, the junior from Titusville, Florida, is there to make the stop, and he has the first down. Let's go back down to Kevin Kiley for an update on the field.
Well, you and Gary talking about Don Nealon, how he's had fun in spite of his 4-6 record. Well, it's infectious. This team is very high tonight. They're having a great time. After that interception at the goal line, they came back, the offense slapping 5, saying, that's all right, we'll get him again. So they're ready to go up here, down here, up to you.
Okay, Kev. Well, you can watch them on the field, and when they execute and get away from the errors, they're an impressive-looking football team. Certainly not 4-6.
You might have had some players slapping 5s, but I doubt if Don Nealon was slapping 5s after that play.
Let me make a point. They had the offsides. You remember we talked about that Nealon probably said, I hope this is not coming into the repertoire. Then they had the delay of game, and now all of a sudden they have come up with an offside penalty here. Is it creeping in again?
Well, they corrected the one offsides play with the big pass to Jet down there that was actually a touchdown play, but that was a 4th down correction. Those get tough to make all game, and then they make a mistake and they should have 7 more points on the board. They're tough. 1st and 15, I'm telling you right now, Rick Witt, the defensive coordinator, is going to be the guy that makes the plays.
First down rush right up the middle, almost to midfield. So they just about get the 5 yards back as Jones on the carry, and Bobby Brown again, who's come in spelling Kurt Wilson. Gerald Dixon also there defensively. Sparky Woods in his 2nd year, coming here from Appalachian State. Jones again, nothing there. It's got to be 3rd down at about 11. Corey Miller was the first man to jam it up, then Bobby Brown. And defensively, the Gamecocks very impressive on this series.
Looks like the Gamecocks have decided they've got to stop that inside rushing game, the isolation play. I kind of wonder, where's the sweeps? They were so successful with the toss sweeps. Put their fullback, Rico Tyler, on those 2 outside linebackers and rover backs. Let them run the sweep. Jones looks very good at it.
They need the 40-yard line. Pressure coming on Jones, throws it incomplete at the 41. Surratt coming over the top.
Greg Jones had him right here. He had him open, but he was a little late with the throw. Jet is open. Look how long he waits. One thing Jet doesn't do, he doesn't help the quarterback. He just stands there and goes down. He should have come back and could have had the catch.
Well, the coaches said they would come after every West Virginia punt tonight, and you could see him coming after that one. It's 50 yards in the kick as he got it away nicely.
Our lots are jam-packed with incredible values. Everywhere you look, there's savings during Spitzer's Thanksgiving Sell-a-thon. Owe money on your present car?
We can pay it off.
A safer, more dependable car for winter.
Easy.
Who needs your old car?
We do. And we'll pay you top cash for it now.
So stop in, take a look around, experience the Spitzer difference, and help yourself to Sell-a-thon savings now through November 26th at every one of your Spitzer auto stores.
Don't miss it.
More than ever, Duncan Jewelers should be your choice. Now with the Diamond Sweets collection. A sampling of delectable diamonds. So tempting, so luscious. Concocted to satisfy a woman's craving for elegance. The Diamond Sweets collection. See Diamond Sweets at Duncan Jewelers in downtown Mansfield. Duncan Jewelers' fall sales event is going on now with genuine 30% savings on all diamonds.
There's something to shout about on ESPN. Hawkins may go all the way.
At the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Sack time.
Touchdown. Heisman candidate Sean Moore leads Virginia in a heated rivalry against Virginia Tech. Then Miami tries to keep national title hopes alive against Syracuse. A live college football doubleheader Saturday on ESPN.
She'll miss a doubleheader. Virginia Tech at 4 o'clock Eastern time, immediately followed by Syracuse at Miami this Saturday.
Well, we saw them start off the year for Miami. Now we're going to see them finish it up, see if they have any improvement. They're still in the running. 2 losses, still in the running for the championship.
No doubt about that, and one of the most talented groups in the country. Our score 10 apiece with 2:58 showing until halftime. This is DeBoer. He will have a couple and then a strong play on the outside to knock him down. Didn't get out of bounds, so the clock will continue to run. There was Terrace Alexander. He's a freshman from Fort Lauderdale making the tackle.
Well, DeBoer's a little bit of a change of pace from Mike Dingle. He's a little different size. The fastballer comes in, and now this is the change of pace back, and he's doing a great job. Has a 6.4-yard average in his freshman year. That's quite impressive.
They can't wait to see him play catcher on the baseball team. Fuller whirls a time over the middle, complete to Brooks at the 40-yard line. Whitmore comes from his free safety spot to make the tackle. Clock will stop momentarily with the chains moving with 2 minutes 14 seconds left.
This is the crossing routes. This is the type of offense that they like to feature. Brooks is going to go down about 15 yards, squares it across against the zones. Fuller puts it right on the numbers. Whitmore with the hit, but too late.
Fuller gets this one out to Watson, and he will get out of it. Nope, they're going to continue the clock. They say he didn't get out of bounds. Steve Grant was there. South Carolina tries to stop the clock, and they do with 1:41 left until halftime.
Bobby Fuller's had a good, he's the transfer from Appalachian State, and he's done a good job for Sparky Woods this year.
So let's take a break. 1:41 left until halftime.
Panasonic presents a new breed of smooth operator. The new Smooth Operator rechargeable razor unites the old-fashioned closeness of a warm, wet shave with the convenience and no-nick comfort of an electric. Don't try this with any plugged-in razor. Smooth Operator wet-dry razors from Panasonic. Smoother than you ever thought you'd be.
Roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never lets you down.
Today, more people than ever are getting a kick out of this hot shot. Interstate batteries hit the road fast with all the cranking power and reserve energy you need for even the worst curves in the weather. And Interstate has twice as many dealers than any other battery company in America, so you're never left stranded. For an Interstate battery dealer near you,
all you got to do is call 1-800-CRANK-IT. Get the power that goes on and on and on, yeah.
Ron Franklin and Gary Danielson with Kevin Kiley from Columbia, South Carolina. There's the story. Tied at 10, just under 2 minutes until halftime. And on second and short, they give it to DeBoer. Has the first down and almost broke out of the tackle of Mike Collins at the 47.
Good job there. Picked up the first down. Had a couple plays called in the huddle. Now you have plenty of time, Bobby. Just be careful. March it down there. 3 points is the goal. You'll take the touchdown.
Ball just outside the Mountaineer 47. Quick pass to Brooks. Can he beat his man? Nope, because Doggett got some help from Collins, but he picks up the first down, plus about 7 yards. And now South Carolina with plenty of time to even take a shot into the end zone.
Oh, yeah, they've got plenty of time. They can still throw the ball short. West Virginia's going to have to call the timeout. They're disorganized. They do. And Bobby Fuller's got this team moving. Brooks already has had a good night. 3 receptions, 43 yards. He's on target. You know, the story of this football game so far, you know, they have been able to run the ball effectively enough so that when West Virginia is coming on the pass rush, they have not been able to put pressure on Bobby. And that's really been the downfall of this offense so far for South Carolina. 37 sacks in the season. That's way too many.
Don't forget, Seattle and San Diego coming up 8 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday evening. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann will be there to call the action. As you take a look from Shamu down into Williams-Brice Stadium, Columbia, South Carolina. George Rush has come into the ballgame. He's a senior from Goose Creek, South Carolina. Has been really playing well of late. Number 14. They list him at a fullback, but they also line him up in slot positions and catches the ball very well.
George Rush was also a baseball player. He's lined up everywhere. Tight end or halfback. He was a wide receiver last year, so he can go deep and catch the ball also.
At this time, they have him lined up at tight end. Let's see if South Carolina tries to do something with him. He's on the right side. Fuller dumps it off short, though. Dingle gets out of bounds at the 25-yard line, and again, it's Grant holding on for dear life.
Good patience by Bobby Fuller that time. They did put Rush on the post route. He was covered. He went to the checkoff man and did it, moved the chains, got out of bounds, got a positive play out of it.
Clock shows 1:14 until halftime. South Carolina 10, West Virginia 10. 5 in a row for Fuller. Now 8 of 10 for 102 yards this evening. Mountaineers come with the blitz, hits the hot receiver, and Brooks has it. Not going to be enough for the first down, I don't believe. Mike Collins makes the play from a strong safety spot.
Little quick out. The clock is still running. They're going to have to get it up there and either call a timeout or throw the ball away.
South Carolina stops the clock with 56 seconds left.
This time Bobby Fuller sees a little different look. He sees the secondary up tight. He reads it. He takes a little 3-step drop, and he gets the ball in the hands of Robert Brooks. Brooks can't break the tackle here. The throw's a little bit behind, and Mike Collins comes out and throws him out of bounds. He did not get out of bounds. Everybody thought he was out of bounds, and that's why the clock didn't stop, and they had to use another timeout.
Coming up at the end of this half, or actually at halftime, Kevin Kiley will be talking with King Dixon, the athletic director at South Carolina, and one of the topics is the fact that the Gamecocks yesterday voted not to go to the Independence Bowl if they were invited. And Sparky Woods told us after he had the meeting with his club, he didn't know how the Gamecocks would play tonight because there were a lot of kids who were extremely disappointed. I think his answer has come in this first 30 minutes of play.
Well, it was a little bit of a quandary. Should I tell him after the game or should I let him know now and make him a risk a little deflation? But I think he did the good move, because if it leaks out, then the kids won't trust him. And now he's told them, I trust you guys. I know you're going to play good, hard football. Hey, this is national television. If you can't get ready for this, you don't belong here anyway.
So here's the situation. 3rd down and 2 for South Carolina. They have it just inside the 25. And the clock shows less than a minute, 56 seconds till halftime. Mountaineers fake the blitz, but they stay at home, and they dump it over the middle to Dingle. And he will get out of bounds at the 16.
Still plenty of time in this half. 49 seconds. You have a first down. You got a timeout. You're in the huddle. You're excited. Now you got to take a chance of going a little bit closer to the end zone. Save that last timeout, though. You want to keep it for the field goal if you have to have it.
When is the last time you saw a quarterback with the number 20? I know Bobby Lane wore 22. We asked Fuller about it, and he had, I think, the number 4 at Appalachian State, but he said that was taken when he came here. The only thing was double digit and anything over 20, so he said 20.
Looks like another blitzing potential here.
Ellis coming from the outside, and he bats it down. Theron Ellis. Bad finger or not?
Ellis, the outside linebacker, he audibled again. But when you have an outside linebacker coming from the weak side, someone has to get up there. This time it was number 68, Calvin Stevens, that needed to turn out on Ellis, and he had to right in the line of vision for Bobby Fuller. Bobby has to take advantage of that blitz look and not just throw the 3-yard pass. Maybe the post. Go down the middle when he gets that blitz look. Take a chance.
Rush is back in the ballgame, number 14, and this time he lines up a tight end on the left side. That's who they're going to. Rush inside the 10, and he's out of bounds at the 7. Whitmore knocked him out.
Rush is a good-looking athlete right here. Played baseball, as I said. He can come out of the backfield. He can line up at tight end. He squares his route off very well. Bobby puts it right on the mark, and Rush gets out of bounds. Big play for him because he still has, now on 3rd and short, he can run the ball and call a timeout or ground it very quickly afterwards.
11 of 14 for Fuller on the evening. 3rd down and about half a yard for the Gamecocks. Still 40 seconds left until halftime. Throws it, and then Whitman, his tight end, can't come close to it.
Well, I don't know if I understand that call. 3rd and inches. They had an opportunity to run the ball and pick up the 1st down. Now they're in a tough situation. Do you take, basically you're almost deciding to take 3 points off the board if you don't go for the field goal, and he is going to go for the field goal.
They still have a timeout left.
I think I'd have ran the ball right there. I don't know if Bobby audible to something because, you know, that's a possibility also because it was a blitz look.
24-yard attempt by Colin Mackey. Hit one from 35 earlier tonight. Kick is on the way, and he's perfect. 29 seconds until halftime. And I think you're right. I think that Sparky Woods might question himself after the ball game tonight and possibly running that. But on the other hand, your point is good. You know, maybe it wasn't audible.
Oh, yeah. He might have checked out of it. But they had the opportunity. The hole was open right over the center. He could have just pounced it right in there for the 1st down.
Well, coming up at halftime, the USF&G halftime report, Sports Center update with Gary Miller and Jim Bergamo. Then a look at the Heisman candidates with Gary and myself. Also stats and highlights of the first 30 minutes here from Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina.
Absolutely, the turning point of this game is the touchdown that wasn't for West Virginia. It was on a 4th down play, 8:04 remaining. See Jones drop back into the pocket, and he puts a good throw here to Jet. Jet protects the ball, and watch, he gets shoved almost out of bounds. The official misses the call. He gets inside the down marker for an obvious touchdown. The next play, they have an illegal procedure penalty. They throw an interception 2 plays later, and that's the turning point of the game so far.
James Jett on the return, and look out. He comes as far as he can and then comes out of bounds to stop the clock with 23 seconds. The minute he saw the man converging on him, he came to the sideline. But for a moment, it looked as though he might go 75 for a touchdown.
Well, Ronnie had an opportunity to do it, too. He could have cut inside and picked up more yards. I think he got a little confused. The clock is going to stop at the turn to change over anyway. He kind of fell in love with that sideline instead of turning it up and getting as much as he could. I tell you, Jones can throw the ball. He could probably throw it to the end zone from right now. He's 5 for 8 in the game, and he has an opportunity to throw some deep ones. There's still time in this football game to get a field goal.
5 for 8 and 71 yards for Jones.
Us quarterbacks, we always think they're time.
That's right. They go with the draw play, though. John Jones out over the 45 to the 46. Gerald Dixon.
Take a timeout.
Is there to make the play. The clock stops with 14 seconds. That's because the chains are moving. 12 carries for him for 71 yards for John Jones, the sophomore from Charleston, West Virginia.
They got a guy hurt. They got to need to take a timeout. Come on, Greg.
Clock is back in. John Jones resets. This is going to be the last play of the first half unless there's a penalty. He gets it off to John Jones. He'll come out of bounds at the 48 with 1 second left. Stacy Robinson pushes him out of bounds.
John Jones hurt his foot on the play previous to that on the running play, and it kind of confused Greg. Now let's be fair to Greg here. This is just his first year of playing. He has to go through all the mistakes that like a freshman does. So he's got fine talent, but he's just learning how to play the game. 1 second to go. Let's toss it into the end zone.
Well, Charlie Fedorko has come in, number 6. And Staten, number 84. Jones just throws that one away. And with that, the end of the first half. With our score, the Gamecocks of South Carolina 13 And the visitors from Morgantown, West Virginia, 10. Let's go down to Kevin Kiley on the sideline for this interview. Kevin.
Thank you, Ron. I have Sparky Woods here. Sparky, you were concerned. Your team has had some disappointments this year, the bowl game being one of them. You were concerned about how they play. They came out and played pretty good the first half.
Played good on offense. We haven't stopped them very well on defense. We've given up the conversion down. We've held them pretty good on first down, second down. We've allowed them to convert the third down plays. So we've got to be more aggressive on defense and try to make sure we break up some of those third down plays.
They're very physical. Are you concerned in the second half that they're so big that they're going to wear you down? They ran the ball pretty well in that first half early.
They're awful big and strong. We certainly can't pass up any opportunities that we might have. If we got a chance to get ahead, we better take it because you're right. They are very big and strong.
Were you surprised about the option pass on the goal line, the one you intercepted?
I was surprised at who intercepted it, but I wasn't surprised that Coach Neyland's a good coach. I knew he was capable of doing that.
All right, Sparky, thanks. Good luck in the second half. Okay, Ron, Gary.
Kevin, thanks so much. So we're at halftime with our score. South Carolina 13, West Virginia 10.
A lot of tough football teams all year. That'll be a good matchup. But I think what this all says, though, is that it's just setting up for a playoff schedule right now. Wouldn't you like to see 8 versus 1, 7 versus 2? I mean, college football's ready for it. Let's have a playoff. We're ready for it. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for it. I'm so tired of early bowls and bad decisions. So here at halftime, our score, 13-10, the Gamecocks of South Carolina on top. This USF&G halftime report brought to you by USF&G Insurance. Protecting your business, home, auto, and life. USF&G, standing behind the USA. And we'll be back with more in just a moment.
And our bills are really...
Now?
Exactly.
Must be a Lennox.
Get up to $400 cash back on selected Lennox heating and cooling purchases. Get $400 in savings bonds or $200 cash back on selected purchases with Coil.
Commitment, value, respect. 3 reasons why people keep coming back to Joe Bear Plumbing and Heating. Discover the Joe Bear difference and see what quality really is.
Attaboy, Dave.
This holiday season, shop Sun for computers, printers, monitors, modems, mouse systems, hard drives, memory upgrades, and much more. At Sun, this IBM-compatible printer, only $127 with tractor fee. This laser IBM-compatible computer, just $277 with color graphics, 5 1/4-inch disk drive. Quality 386SX computer with color graphics, $797 includes software package and 5 1/4-inch floppy disk.
That's sensational.
Whatever your computer needs, shop Sun for lowest prices.
Football teaches values you will use throughout your life. 11 people working together, working for a common goal. If you get knocked down, you must get up and try harder. Your opponent may be bigger and stronger, but you must do your best. Teamwork, perseverance, reacting to adversity, attributes needed for success. That's what college football means to me.
Enjoy college football, an American tradition.
My experience in collegiate sports was very rewarding, but extremely demanding. Kansas State University and athletics gave me an opportunity to obtain a quality education. The university helped me bridge the gap between athletics and academics. Football taught me the discipline and teamwork to become a successful businessman. It also taught me the importance and benefit of being a positive role model for our nation's youth.
College football prepares you for the game of life.
It's halftime here in Columbia, South Carolina, Williams-Brice Stadium for tonight's Thanksgiving evening special between the Mountaineers of West Virginia and the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Ron Franklin and Gary Danielson back with you. Gary, 1 week from Saturday, the end of the regular season, and of course that also means coming down the stretch as far as the Heisman vote is concerned.
And no different like the race for #1 this year. The race for the Heisman has been fallen, lead taken, lead lost, and now we got 1 game to go.
Well, we feel as though these are the 5 gentlemen that probably have the best shot at winning the Heisman Trophy this year. First of all, looking at the backfield. And, of course, Raheem Ismail is hardly a mere running back. He's the nation's most feared kick returner. Also a wide receiver, a slot back, just an all-out game-breaking presence. And last week against Penn State, we saw just how much he means to Notre Dame. You remember he had to leave at halftime with an injury, and the Irish were never the same after that. Colorado's Eric Bieniemy, right now the #2 rusher in the nation. That's even after missing the season opener against Tennessee. Scored 4 touchdowns in the Buffalo's fourth quarter comeback against Nebraska. A big factor in their being #1. Gary?
There you see the stats for the two, and you got to remember, these football players are more than stats, though. Bieniemy, the ultimate competitor. Ismail changes a game no matter where he lines up.
All right, now let's look at the quarterbacks. We have pared it down to 3 candidates, and these are the gentlemen that we think are the impact players at this juncture. First of all, Ty Detmer. You remember we had him early in the year as he outdueled Miami. Early in the season, it earned him a lot of national attention, and with just 1 loss, he's got the Cougars right in the hunt for #1. Speaking of Cougars, what about the Houston Cougars? David Klingler, he has flourished in that high-powered run and shoot, just like Andre Ware did before him in 1989. But a poor showing 2 weeks ago against Texas might have hurt his campaign. And how about Sean Moore? He helped make Virginia the storybook team of 1990. He has passed the Cavaliers to #1 for a few weeks, then 2 losses. Now he is out with a hand injury, and he could now turn into a long shot. Gary?
I think so. Sean may not have had that penalty against Georgia Tech. I think he'd have it in his back pocket, but I'm looking to Ty Detmer right now. You have to compare it to him. He started off the year fast. He has not slowed down. Klingler has had a good football year. He hurt a little bit against Texas. His team is not as good as the other football teams. And those 47 touchdown passes, remember, 11 of them came in one game against not really top-flight competition.
That's right. Okay, as far as the quarterbacks then, who are you looking at? Ty?
I think Ty's the front runner for the quarterbacks, and I think Rocket obviously is the front runner there.
Want to pick me a winner?
Yeah, I still like Ty. I started him off with the Top Gun all year. I'm going to keep him there.
All right, it is halftime here at Williams-Brice Stadium. We are going to take a break. We'll be back with more of this Turkey Evening Special right after this.
Winning. It can all come down to one spark plug, Champion. No other brand of spark plug in the world has fired more NASCAR, Indy, and Formula One drivers to victory than Champion. Imagine what Champion spark plugs can do for you. Plug in the winners. Plug in the Champion. Because when we race, you win.
A continuous commitment to improvement. One reason why the U.S. government awarded Cadillac the 1990 Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, as demonstrated by the new 200 horsepower 4.9-liter V8 and electronically controlled transmission that not only generate more power, but deliver the highest highway mileage of any V8-powered luxury car. Another reason why the only way to travel is Cadillac style. Cadillac style.
My brother and I came out of a small high school in northern West Virginia, Warwood High School, which no longer exists. Went to WVU. He became a doctor. I became a lawyer after my Rhodes Scholarship. And WVU performed for my parents that indispensable role of seeing them, through their children, achieve the American dream.
West Virginia University.
South Carolina leading by 3 at halftime. And Gary, real quickly, let's get into the highlights. A couple that we want to show in the first half as far as turning points or big plays in this ball game.
Well, the first was the disallowed TV. It was a mistake by the official. A pass here from Jones to Jett. He's going to come into your picture, number 15. The pass is there. Jett gets pushed to the sideline, but he doesn't touch the out of bounds marker. He goes in to the end zone. It's put down on the 1-yard line. 2 plays later, following a penalty, we have an interception. The key play right here, it's a halfback pass, number 98. The nose tackle in the middle of your screen is going to come off the block, and then he takes the pass from Jones as he tries to throw it across his body, and there's the nose tackle for the interception. It really has turned the game around so far.
So let's take a break. We're almost ready for the second half kickoff. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
You can wrestle the weather without getting soaked. Run the river without taking a bath. Or go like the wind without going broke. Kelly, a good deal on a great tire.
Peterson Tire Company, Mansfield's largest and most complete tire center. Home of the Made in America Kelly Springfield Tire.
If you thought you had to spend over $10,000 for a brand new 91 with lots of equipment, have we got a surprise for you. Tomorrow at your Spitzer Dodge and Chrysler Plymouth stores, get a brand new 91 Dodge Shadow or Plymouth Sundance equipped with air conditioning, automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, AM/FM stereo, and many other outstanding features for only $89.95. It's an unbeatable value. Tomorrow at your Spitzer Dodge and Chrysler Plymouth stores. Don't miss it.
The University of South Carolina School of Medicine, a promise in practice.
Now the crowd coming to their feet as we prepare for the second half kickoff. Brad Carroll for West Virginia. Robert Brooks for the Gamecocks. At the 40. And out across the 46 now, the 47-yard line. That's a 32-yard return.
Wow, this guy's got a bad knee, Ron. If this guy was healthy, I'll tell you, he's following in Sterling Sharp, the great All-American receiver from South Carolina. He's taking it, the kickoff return here. He's a hurdler. Watch him use it. One, he ducks up inside, and then he jumps to the outside, and then he's got the speed to get around the corner. Robert Brooks, nice return, a great field position for Sparky Woods to start off the second half.
South Carolina will go with Dingle to open a tailback in the second half. Pass is thrown incomplete, looking for Ken Watson. Here are the numbers for the first 30 minutes. As Fuller tells you what he thinks about his own pass. In the first half, he was 11 of 15, 6 of 11 for Greg Jones. Passing yardage, 74, 118. Rushing yardage, big for the Mountaineers, 146. But turnovers and that big bugaboo for him.
That's right. The big turnover, of course, the touchdown that was it. The rushing yards, 146. The other was where they started the drive. South Carolina did not have great field position. This is a luxury right here where they have the ball now.
Second and 10. It's Dingle. Burst through the line. Has 5. Counted off at 10. Wheeler and Whitmore combining for the stop.
The offensive line was the big question mark. Could they produce some holes? Well, here you see it. Hamrick and Rivens right here, number 76, and Calvin Stevens do a good job of providing some opening for Dingle. And Dingle is going to get an opportunity to play in the National Football League, Ron. A guy who can run like he does, the size he is, and the second leading receiver on this football team. If you can catch and run, you're valuable to the pro game.
Gets the pitch and the sweep, breaks by one tackle, but now he better just go down, and he does. Back at the 47, Mike Collins. Wow, that's a loss of almost, what do we got, 5-10 yards in the play.
Let me rephrase that, though. You have to do one other thing. You have to think when you get the ball, and this time Mike Dingle does not do the right thing. When you have an opportunity to get up and the play bust down, take it up inside and get what you can get. He doesn't have the speed to run around this whole West Virginia defense. This is some speed on the backside, and Mike has to get the ball and get what he can and take his lumps once in a while.
Loss of 16 on the play from where they'd spotted it down, so it's second down and 26. Fuller immediately wants to go to work in the air. Dingle, he's done it all in the second half. Turned to flip at the 45 by Collins.
That's going to hurt him a little bit right here. It looked like he came down right on his head. Collins gets him again for the second straight play. And I think he either landed on his shoulder or his neck problem right there, but he took a big one from Collins.
He just went complete 360, head over heels.
Those are the type of plays as a quarterback when you really feel when you really feel bad, because you put your receiver in a position where he really took a big hit right here. He gets sandwiched, one guy from in front, and there he did. He did land on his head. It looked like a neck type of an injury. I hope it's not real serious, but you'll see that he takes one, gets sandwiched in between the two, and Steve Grant, number 4, puts the finishing touches on him, and those are the dangerous ones.
Here are the possessions by South Carolina in the first half as the trainer is still on the field administering aid. 14 plays in their opening drive, and they scored the touchdown. Then the next time they touched the ball, 10 plays, the field goal. So 24 snaps the first 2 times that the offense is on the field. Then West Virginia came up with an answer. 3 plays, only 9 yards. They punt it, then they come up with a field goal on the last possession. Let's go down to the sideline, and Kevin Kiley, can you update us on the situation of Mike Dingle?
I think with the stretcher going out there, kind of speaks for itself. They're really protecting that neck right there. And Mike Dingle, those are the ones you really hate to see as a football player from both sides when somebody comes right down like that.
Let's go down to Kevin and get an update.
All right, Ron, I was over on the sideline. You see the stretcher coming out. Every time they reached under the left shoulder pad of Mike Dingle, he screamed in pain. I mean, excruciating pain. There's no question that he has a serious problem under the shoulder pad. Now, whether it's the shoulder or the neck, it's too hard to tell, but he is definitely injured. Back upstairs to you.
Okay, Kip. I would believe that if it were a neck that they would have put a board under him.
Right.
So probably the shoulder. He gets a standing ovation from both sides of the field, the West Virginia folks as well. Total yards tonight for him, 78 yards. He's rushed 17 times for 58, 3 catches for 20.
I think the thing you brought up, Ron, is correct, though. If he had the bad neck, and of course we're just supposing up here, they probably would have been using the flat board and protecting him and moving him. It looks like the shoulder. If there's any good news.
This has been an extremely tough year on this young man because his mom was diagnosed as having cancer this spring.
One more time, Mike comes out of the backfield and catches the pass. There you see him. He's holding the shoulder in joint right there. Probably popped out on him. Calling for the stretcher, and boy, had a good start on a great football game, and now he's going to be carted off. Tough break for Mike.
That's Dr. Rod Walters, who's the head athletic trainer here at South Carolina. And you know, that's a group of guys that we don't mention that much, but just are absolute saviors when it comes to these athletes in college athletics. They do an extremely good job. Fuller on 3rd down and 15. He's going to run, and he has some distance. Grant will catch him from behind, and if Steve doesn't make the tackle, he picks up the 1st down and even more. Now the crowd, all 70,000 plus, trained coach here as they say go for it.
It looks like Sparky's going to listen to him too. It's 4th and a couple. He sends the big guys in.
Ken Watson comes in at fullback, the senior from Titusville, number 32. He'll line up at fullback.
I still think he's going to have to throw the ball, though.
DeBoer is the lone setback. Takes the pitch. Has the 1st down inside the 30.
DeBoer got the pitch and was the beneficiary of some good blocking right there. This is his 8th carry of the football game for 35 yards. He's around the corner, and he just puts his head down and gets the 1st down. A big 4th down conversion right there.
DeBoer to the other side. Cuts it up. He'll only have a couple as Collins comes up from his safety spot, and now a flag. As West Virginia continued to ride on the tackle, and I assume that's what the flag is for.
Well, sitting up here, you have to give credit to the crowd a little bit, too, because they called it a little bit before the official did, and then out came the flag. So,
face mask against West Virginia, 5 yards.
5-yard variety, and it was not for the continued pushing on the tackle.
The face mask was from number 11, Daryl Whitmore. You're going to see him come up, and he gets the face mask, and it's the big kind right here. There it is sticking out. Daryl's pushing him back. Well, that's a little weak right there. I can see pushing him back maybe after the whistle, but I don't know if that's a 15-yard version of the face mask. He was just trying to push him.
Only 5.
Oh, gave him a 5. Yeah.
Only 5. Line of scrimmage to the 20. It is first down and 3, South Carolina. DeBoer, what a stick in the middle. Breaks off that tackle and is still fighting. E.J. Wheeler will finally stop it.
DeBoer's going to be a real favorite around here for the next 3 years. There you see Daryl Whitmore. He's still arguing about the play before. He gets stuck right in the hole here. I think it's E.J. Wheeler who gets him in the hole right there, but he just keeps it going. This guy's built low to the ground. He's got leverage. He just keeps pushing and pushing, and now they're going to have to measure it. E.J., number 46, found out that this freshman can play football. It's all leverage. When you're that small type of football player like that, you get under his shoulder pads. It's very, very tough to bring down.
I think we could, as you see the chain coming out, they're going to miss it by a couple of inches. I think we could safely send a message to those of you who will be playing baseball against South Carolina this spring. If you have a chance to come home and it might be a close play, don't. Because this fellow's going to be behind the plate. And I think he likes and has a nose for contact.
DeBoer came here on a baseball scholarship. And he's been switched over to football now.
The charge, but it is a first down for the Gamecocks. Inside the 15, they'll spot it at the 13. You just joined us, South Carolina, 13-10.
Again, Ken Watson, the fullback. In the I formation, you have to have that fullback that wants a block. And Ken Watson, number 32, has been doing it all night. DeBoer just follows that big fullback. He takes on the linebacker. And number 4, Steve Grant, makes the play, but positive play.
DeBoer again. Well, one of our parabs was right there. One of the microphones on the sideline. You could hear the contact.
DeBoer this time to the left side. He's behind Ike Harris. Jay Killen, there you see again. At this time, Ken Watson, the fullback, lines up at tight end, puts the block on Ellis, and turns the corner. So valuable in this one-back set. Number 32, Ken Watson. He's been all over the football field blocking for his tailbacks.
DeBoer to the 5-yard line and maybe just inside. Steve Grant has got to be well over double figures on tackles tonight because we have called number 4 time and time again. A junior from Miami.
Steve Grant is making the play, but I think Sparky Woods is really happy with this type of attack. This is what type of football he wants to play here at South Carolina. When he came here, they were a little bit of a finesse passing team. He wants to create the image, the tough practice type of player. And I think he's doing it. He's showing what people around here are going to see the next few years.
Third down. About 1.5 yards for South Carolina. They need the 3. DeBoer makes it first and goal for the Gamecocks.
It's like having 3 fullbacks in this backfield right now. Number 32, Ken Watson. Number 42, Leroy Jeter. And DeBoer. They just isolated old-time football right here and push him back. Grant, again, he's filling, but he's getting pushed off. Those are some real blocking backs he's got in front of him. This time again from the defense. They're into the end zone before he even gets slowed down. DeBoer just leaps over, and tremendous blocking from the line and those two up backs.
Colin Mackey with the extra point. At our score, South Carolina 20, West Virginia 10.
Listen, equipment's not that important. Trout fishing has to do with correct thinking. You're a fast learner, aren't you? I hope so. No, I do too. Next time, put in the water. You're getting good at this now. Oh, about too soon. Over there. Hey, there's no fish in the tree. Stay right in there. Oh, I got a strike. High line. High line. No. I lost him.
The NEC P300.
Hello?
We made it smaller and lighter than ordinary cellular
Did
phones.
they sign the contract? Great. At least I caught something.
Because you can't take the call if you don't take the phone.
Now, for the price of an ordinary 4x4, you can own the American legend. The new Jeep Cherokee Sport with 4 doors, shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive, and a new high-output 4-liter engine. It's a whole different animal.
Save up to $2,500 on 1990 Cherokees or get 50th anniversary discounts on select 91s.
ESPN's college football special, West Virginia at South Carolina, is brought to you by Jeep. There's only one Jeep. And by Levi's, 505, 506, and 540 jeans. Ron Franklin, Gary Danielson, and Kevin Kiley, we hope that you have had a very good Thanksgiving Day with your family and friends. 20-10, South Carolina leads, still 9:33 left to play in the third period. Morrell will gather this one at the 6.
One more look. This is their E backfield. Number 40, Ernest Dixon is a linebacker. Comes in on this short yardage play. Clears out number 25, Mike Collins, and DeBoer's in the end zone. When Dingle got hurt, DeBoer carried the ball 8 straight times on this drive and took it into the end zone.
Scoring drive, 12 plays, 53 yards, 5 minutes and 27 seconds. Consider 3 times in the ball game tonight, South Carolina has had a drive in double figures. Play action by Jones, and what a hit at the 34-yard line.
Little bootleg action this time. You'll see Jalones deliver this pass, but you'll see one more delivery this time. Number 45, Leon Harris, the free safety, puts a hit on Jet. But you know what? Helmet flies, but Jet gets right back up and lines up in the huddle.
Running play this time to Jones as Corey Miller steps up very quickly, and now some of the players having to be separated.
I'll tell you, there's not a person in the stands that's sitting down right now, Ron. Everybody's really excited. The defense is fired up, and the people in the stands are about as fired up as the defense out there for South Carolina.
Corey Miller, we mentioned off the top of the telecast, has been playing with a sore knee, and that might have been the reason that he stayed down and rocked about a little bit after the play. Jet complete at the 50-yard line.
Well, Jet's showing me something. Right there, they come back with the same pass from the other direction, a crossing route. He just had his head almost knocked off. This is a sprinter. if you get a guy that can come across the middle of the field and catch the ball, plus have 4.2 speed, you have a lot of potential. Jet is going to be, he's just a sophomore, remember, he's the #1 receiver on this football team. He's going to be a threat in college football for the next couple of seasons.
Counter option. Oh, what a defensive play. South Carolina's Mike Tolbert played it just perfectly.
Mike Tolbert is the outside linebacker. He and Keith McDonald, number 35, the Rover, basically do the same thing. Mike Tolbert's going to be the short side of the field. He's facing the option this time. Greg Jones comes out, and they string it out. Nice job by him. You see him throw away the blocker and make the play. Rico Tyler couldn't keep it in. A nice job by Mike Tolbert that time.
Far side of the field, that one overthrown. Fedorko was the closest man to him, but the reason he had to get rid of it too soon was Corey Miller.
Yeah, good time by Jones that time. Corey Miller comes outside. He's got no tight end in his face, and he just puts enough pressure. They wanted to do a little stop and go, a little pump pass, and then let him go big. But this time Miller comes inside, and he has to throw the ball away. Again, they had the fullback, Rico Tyler, number 29 on Miller. He couldn't handle it.
Intended for James Jett. And the kicking team for the Mountaineers come on and listen to this ovation for the defense. Greg Herzog, his first kick tonight was 50 yards. Robert Brooks watches it bounce. He's going to stay away from it, or should anyway. He takes a very close look, and it's dead inside the 10. So let's take a timeout. 7:29 left in the third quarter.